yet another guest. Welcome to Dan. Dan, help me out with your last name. Is it Caballero?
Caballero, any way you want to say it.
How would you like us to say it?
Either way, Caballero,
Either way.
Caballero, whatever's easier for you.
You come from CVA Exterminators.
That's right.
CVA. What is the CVA? Does that stand for anything, CVA?
I'm the C, and then I got a partner who is the VA. He's a Dutchman, so Van Anda.
So it's all the partners.
That's it.
Fantastic. And you are locally owned here. You've been in business over 24 years?
That's right. We've been here since 1998.
1990. Me too.
Good.
Me too. So, and you serve the local area. Lots of termites, I'm being told.
Yeah, well,
a big thing?
we're a full service pest and termite company, but we do a lot of termite work. We've been working with realtors for years. You know, when people sell homes and things like that to get the homes back up to shape before they get transferred.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? I always wondered, why don't we do that for ourselves? Like, why do we, why can't we see if there are termites for us? But we always do this kind of thing when we're moving and for the new owners, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually, I think it's a law that we have to check for termites, yes?
You don't have to check for them. You don't really have to check for them. You have to disclose. So now what happens is people get a termite inspection done mostly by the buyers. It used to be the sellers that used to have to do it, but they changed the real estate contract a few years back, and they took it out of the real estate contract. So now it's the buyer's responsibility if they want an inspection done. Though it's wise for sellers to get an inspection done before they list it, so they know if there's any potential problems they may have to, consider paying for. So understanding what they may be in for prior to setting a price is important. Though nowadays, doesn't matter what price you have; it's going to go higher anyways.
Exactly. Before we get off termites, because I want to talk about termites just a little bit more. Years and years ago, when I had my first home, it was a tent.
Right.
Do you still do the tents, or do you do?
Yeah, tents still happen.
Yeah.
And it's the best way to ensure that a certain species of termites, a drywood termite species, gets eliminated from a home if it's gotten into the framing where you can't see where it's gone. But we can offer secondary options, alternative to the tent. A lot of times it's going to be dependent on who's the beneficiary of the treatment. So the buyer may not accept a localized treatment, or a lender sometimes may not accept a localized or a secondary treatment. So if you're selling a house VA, for instance, they're going to want a full, complete primary recommendation done on it, which is the tent. But it varies. Sometimes people don't want you to tent when they're moving into the house. They say, you know what, I'm pregnant. I don't want to have a tent, although it's not going to really cause any problems. But that's certainly an option. We do have options for that.
And then you have the orange oil option. Is that something that you do?
There's that. Orange oil, in our opinion, we've studied lots of different alternatives to fumigation. Orange oil is a botanical, and unfortunately it breaks down rather quickly compared to some of the other synthetic materials that we have that work better. They transfer better. Contact poisons like orange oil are often repellent. So if you don't get them on the termites or surround them with it, they're not going to be affected by it because they'll stay away from it. Termites like ants
they'll just move over. They'll move over here.
Yeah, they'll just stay away from the area
Exactly,
until it wears out, and then they'll come back.
Gotcha. So that's not at the top of your list. It's not.
No,
really...
it's not for us. We try to do things that we feel work well,
And you specialize in home pest control.
We do home pest control as well. So our main thing is we do, regular service to people's homes here in Santa Clarita. We like to think of ourselves as a small company because we're only about 6 service vehicles, but we offer big service. Our vehicles are very different than a lot of the pest control trucks people will see that have one big tank with a hose reel on it.
Yep.
And whatever's in that tank is what everybody gets. Our trucks have multiple spray or application devices inside of the truck. They're basically like a little pharmacy. So they're covered and they're all locked up. So nobody can go up there and just grab a hose and pull on it or a tank and open it or anything like that. So we're able to target whatever people are having at the time specifically without having to hose the whole place down, with something generic that's going to hopefully kill whatever's there.
So it's not one size fits all. Not with
That's right.
not with CVA Exterminators.
No.
No. Okay, Dan. Biggest we live in Santa Clarita with so many critters. I'm not a big critter person. I think you know that by my reputation. What would you say if you had to list in order the top 5 critters that you have to deal with? What are those? What's on the top of the list? What are we dealing with?
Top of the list is number 1 is going to be ants. So ants are usually the number one, and that, when they're bad, they're bad. So in the summer or when it rains, they'll get real bad. We'll get lots of calls for that. Number 2 is spiders. So in the summer, we get a lot of black widow calls. People can't sit outside in their patios. They have these beautiful outdoor living areas, and then there's black widows living under the patio furniture. And that creeps you out because, what if your kid sits out there, in some shorts or something like that?
What if I sit out there?
Exactly.
Let's just stop right there. I mean, come on. Okay, number 3. So we have ants, spiders.
Rodents. So we get a lot of call for rats.
Dan.
Things crawling on your, on your back wall,
critters.
things crawling in your attic. So we get those calls all the time.
Dan.
Number 4, I would say we get a lot of calls for termites. People do get some termite evidence at their homes. A lot of times it ends up being rot. So there's not a termite infestation, but it's actually an infection of a fungus that's getting into your wood and it's making it deteriorate.
Can you fix that?
Absolutely. We have a complete repair crew, so we can.
Okay.
We have our license allows us our termite license because there's 2 different licenses. Not every pest control company can do wood destroying organisms, but when we do have that license, it allows us to do anything a contractor can do, except build something new. So if it's been damaged, we can completely rebuild it.
I have never heard that from a pest control service before. You have 6 trucks.
6 service vehicles, right?
And do you have does every person get their own truck, or do you have more employees than trucks?
Well, the office people don't have a truck, but we all have our own service vehicle, right? Yeah, so we can meet up on jobs or do whatever we need to do to get things done. Sometimes we'll schedule a day certain ways, and things change. Somebody will have a problem on the inside, or something will be worse than we thought it was, the way it was called in. So then we all have to kind of reshuffle and get there. But that's why we have an office that handles all this stuff. And we're a small company, but we're not. We say big service because we have people in the office that are scheduling, rerouting, doing things all day long. And so when you call there and you have a special request, you get a return phone call right away. You don't have to wait, till somebody checks their voicemail or something like that. I mean, we're on top of things all the time.
Dan, can I tell you how much customer service means to me? I mean, it's huge in my book. I love bedside manner, good bedside manner, no matter what the company, if you, let's say, I'm going to give you a for instance, and I know we're running out of time, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
So, Dan, let's say one of your tech guys is running a little late. Do you reach out to the next appointment and let them know that they're running a little bit late and won't be there at the exact time?
Absolutely. So we do give a bit of a time window. They're not massive time windows like 4 hours or anything like that. Usually it's a half hour. If you choose a window, okay. Now some people say, well, come on Thursdays, anytime is fine. And so when you're in an anytime call, we're not going to call you, but if we give you a time window, we're going to call you if we're not going to make it. So you're going to get a call from us or from the office or actually from the service tech. So they have on their phones, when they're on their schedule, they can actually dial with one button, just say call that client, and then, or they can text you and tell you, hey, we're running behind.
Perfect. Joseph Exner from, Dan Caballero from CVA Exterminators. Please go to CVAExterminators.com for all the information there. Customer service, that's where it's at. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.